I was cleaning out the shed this morning, found these hedge clippers, bought 'em 20 years ago. Swore I was going to trim the azaleas into the shape of, I don't know, woodland creatures or something. They're rusted shut. Never used 'em once. Kept saving 'em for a someday that never showed up. That's retirement for most folks. You save up your whole life, denying yourself this and that, thinking, someday I'll do it. Then you hit 65 and you realize someday has a shelf life, and yours is starting to smell funny. Look, the financial guys on TV, they got nice suits and white teeth, and they talk about interest rates. I don't care about that. I care about the fact that you're running out of time. Let's talk about it. There's this guy on the internet, some financial advisor type. He laid out the math, and honestly, it's enough to make you sick to your stomach. If you retire at 65 and you kick the bucket at 85, that's 1,000 weeks. That's it. You could fit 1,000 weeks in a medium-sized cardboard box. But here's the kicker, the part nobody wants to say out loud at the retirement party while you're eating sheet cake. You don't get 1,000 good weeks. You maybe got 500. The first few years, that's the go-go phase. That's when your knees still bend, your back doesn't scream when you get out of a chair, and you got the energy to actually deal with airport security. After that, you hit the slow-go phase. You still go, just not as far, and you complain about it more when you get back. Then comes the no-go phase. That's you in the recliner watching daytime TV waiting for the grandkids to call. The point is, you don't have 20 years to do the big stuff. You got maybe 10, if you're lucky. So why are you still acting like you're going to live forever? The biggest problem I see, and I see it down at the hardware store, at the VFW, everywhere, is hoarding. We spent 40 years being terrified of poverty. Save for a rainy day. A penny saved is a penny earned. It's beaten into us. It's trauma, honestly. So you hit retirement, you got the nest egg, but you can't bring yourself to crack the damn shell. Spending money physically hurts you. You see it as depleting the asset. Listen to me. You are not a bank. You are a human being with an expiration date. There's this deathbed test the advisor guy mentioned. It's grim, but it works. When you're 90 years old, laying there staring at the ceiling tile in the nursing home, what are you going to be thinking about? Are you going to be smiling because you managed to keep an extra 50 grand in your IRA? Are you going to pump your fists because you bought the cheaper toilet paper for 30 years? Hell no. Nobody on their deathbed wishes they'd saved more money. They wish they'd taken the trip. They wish they'd bought the convertible. They wish they'd taken the whole family to Disney World, even though it costs a fortune and the lines are awful. Because you can't buy memories when you're dead. Your kids don't want your money as much as they want memories with you. Well, most of them anyway. Stop over-saving for a future you won't be healthy enough to enjoy. Which brings me to energy. When you're working, you manage your time. You got a calendar, 9 to 5, meetings, deadlines. In retirement, you got all the time in the world. Time is cheap. What's expensive is energy. You got to audit your life like the IRS audits a small business owner. What gives you juice? Is it hanging out with certain friends? Is it wood carving? Is it yelling at the news? No, wait, yelling at the news drains energy. Don't do that. You got to figure out who and what sucks the life out of you, and you got to cut them loose. You don't have the bandwidth anymore to deal with vampires. If you got 12 hours in a day, but you only got 4 hours of actual usable energy, don't blow it watching infomercials. And for God's sakes, you gotta move around. Health is a multiplier. If you feel like garbage physically, everything else is garbage. Your money doesn't matter if you can't walk to the mailbox. Your relationships suffer because you're cranky from chronic pain. I ain't saying you gotta run a marathon. I'm saying take a walk. Eat a vegetable that wasn't deep fried. The body needs maintenance just like an old truck. If you let it sit in the driveway, the engine seizes up. And speaking of seizing up, let's talk about your brain. Have you ever noticed how time seems to speed up the older you get? When you were 10, a summer lasted forever. Now a whole year goes by in a snap. There's a reason for that. It's routine. When you're a kid, everything's new. Your brain's constantly writing new data. It slows down your perception of time. But when you're 65, you've seen it all. You do the same things, eat the same breakfast, drive the same roads. Your brain goes on autopilot. It stops recording. And suddenly, 10 years have passed and you don't remember any of it. It's a blur, a beige. You want to slow down time? You got to shock the system. You got to do something new. And I don't mean trying a new flavor of potato chip. I mean genuinely new. Go somewhere you've never been. Learn how to paint. Try to learn Spanish, even if you're terrible at it. It's called strategic incompetence. It's okay to suck at something again. We get so obsessed with being experts by the time we retire. We don't want to look foolish, so we stick to what we know. We stay comfortable. Comfort is a slow death. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Your brain needs friction. It needs a challenge. If you're always comfortable, you're rotten. And don't do it alone. That's another trap, the lonely old coot syndrome. Relationships are like bank accounts. You got to make deposits if you want to make withdrawals. If you only call people when you need something, eventually they stop picking up. You need compound living, small daily investments in people, a phone call, a coffee date. And it ain't just your best friends. The data shows that weak ties matter too. The guy at the bait shop, the lady you see at the dog park, those little interactions that keep you tethered to the world, that keep you civilized. If you stop talking to strangers, you start getting weird. Trust me, I've seen it happen. You also need shared challenges. Go volunteer, build a house for someone, clean up a park, do something hard with other people. Nothing bonds folks together like mutual misery in the service of a good cause. It beats sitting around talking about your cholesterol levels. Look, this all boils down to one thing. You can't just fall into a good retirement. You got to design it. And for the love of Pete, test drive it first. I know guys who sold their house, packed up everything, and moved to Florida because that's what you're supposed to do. 6 months later, they're miserable. It's too hot. There are bugs the size of Buicks, and they miss their friends. Don't just jump off the cliff. Rent a place down there for 2 months in July. See if you can handle the heat before you buy the condo. Try volunteering at the animal shelter 3 days a week before you commit to running the place. You got to test your assumptions against reality because your imagination is usually wrong.
You don't want to end up like these clippers, full of potential, just sitting on a shelf until your rust shut. You got 500 good weeks if you're lucky. The clock started ticking the day you walked out of the office for the last time. Stop saving the good china for a special occasion. Being alive, that's the special occasion. Use the clippers, trim the damn bushes. Woodland creatures, what was I thinking?